36% less, not just for that year, for the rest of your life. That's a significant reduction. And boom, they're above the threshold and they start to get their OAS clawed back. It's a critical mistake and I've seen it made hundreds of times. Are you about to make a huge mistake with your CPP? These 3 mistakes that we're gonna cover could cost you thousands of dollars in your retirement without you even knowing it. So what are they? What are those mistakes? Mistake number 1, taking your CPP at the wrong time. Whether you're taking it too early or too late, taking your CPP at the wrong time can cost you thousands of dollars. It's a critical mistake and I've seen it made hundreds of times. So the mistake of taking it too early, every month that you take it early reduces the amount that you're getting by 0.6%. So 7.2% per year, you get less if you take it early. So if you're not in a position where you need the cash flow, if you already have income, that would be a mistake if you're taking CPP early. If you're not gonna need those funds, it would be a critical mistake to take them early, because if you leave the funds with CPP, they will give you additional funds every month that you delay. So if you take your CPP at age 60, you get 36% less, not just for that year, for the rest of your life. That's a significant reduction. So if you don't need the money, if there's not an immediate need for capital, if you're not gonna touch those funds, and if you're still working or if you still have income that is meeting your needs, you shouldn't take CPP early. If you delay CPP after age 65, the government will give you an extra 0.7% for every month. The same math and the same theory follows here. So taking it too early is one mistake people make, and then taking it too late is another mistake. So if you do have shortened life expectancy, if you need the capital today, if you're in a position where your tax rate is lower now than it'll be in the future, those are all situations where you should take your CPP early. You should take it and you should not defer. I think the key takeaway here is if you're taking your CPP early or late and you're just doing it without a plan, trust me, that's going to cost you money long term. Mistake number 2 is not coordinating your CPP with your spouse. So many couples fail to strategize their CPP benefits one with another, and they're missing out on extra money. Now, why does this matter? If one spouse takes a CPP and the other delays, you could maximize income. Sometimes you're a lot better off to delay one to get the increase versus taking both today. And then when we get into survivor benefits, obviously if a spouse passes, their CPP stops and the survivor may only receive partial benefits. A strategy could be to have one of the spouses delay the CPP to try to maximize the survivor benefits and increase the income that you're getting on a monthly basis. Again, put this in the context of life expectancy, cash flow, tax situations. It's one of the pieces of a bigger puzzle, which is your wealth plan. Mistake number 3, overpaying taxes on your CPP benefits. If you've seen my other videos, you know it. CPP is taxable. It is income that gets taxed. It gets added to your T4 income, whatever other income you have, and it is taxable. That means if you're already close to a high tax bracket and you're tacking on some CPP income, it might push you into another tax bracket, meaning you're giving up the tax arbitrage that you may have had you been in a lower tax bracket. One of the common mistakes that I see is people will take, their CPP, their OAS, and they'll also be drawing down on their RSP. Maybe they've already converted their RSP to a RIF, so they are forced to draw down on that registered income. Puts them in a position where they have no choice. Now they get the CPP, they get the OAS, they're getting the RIF income or the RSP converted to a RIF. That's now spitting out income every year on a mandatory basis. And maybe they have dividends or other cash flow coming in and they still have a part-time job, and all of a sudden they add it all up and boom, they're above the threshold and they start to get their OAS clawed back. They start losing those benefits of the old age security, or they're just bumped into a much higher tax bracket that they didn't realize they would be in. They might not need all that income. They like the part-time job. They're okay with some of the other income they're getting, but they didn't factor all the pieces together. So now what? Now when you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, make a nice little plan, it looks like we're paying way more taxes than we should have. So what does this mean? Well, I think you need to start planning this earlier on potentially. So, consider having some of your liquidity in a TFSA. It allows you to pull out the money tax-free and allows you to have that kind of rainy day fund without having to worry about pushing yourself up in a higher tax bracket. Consider drawing down on RSPs maybe in earlier years where you have lower tax income, or perhaps deferring the conversion from your RSP to a RIF account until maybe later, maybe you're 71 and then you defer that income and you're not getting that unnecessary income. And if you do need to draw down on your RSP, you can still do that, on a 1 or 2 time basis per year without completely converting your RSP to a RIF. Now, if there's a plan in place, your advisor knows this already, and this plan is already happening, so you don't have to worry about this. But the problem is most people don't have a plan in place. Like, the takeaway here is if you don't have a tax plan, you're likely giving away thousands of dollars to the government in tax money every single year. All right, so quick recap, those 3 mistakes. 1, taking your CPP at the wrong time. Typically too early, but could also be too late. 2, not coordinating your CPP with your spouse. Think of your survivor benefits and think of the taxability of having that income. And 3, overpaying tax on your CPP benefits because you never had a plan in place and you had no idea how much income you actually had when you entered into retirement. You converted a RIF too early, now you got all this income and you don't know what to do with it because you're gonna have to pay all that tax to the government. If this is confusing for you and you'd like to get more clarity on your CPP strategy or your retirement plan, go to www.speaktorob.com. We'd love to book a no obligation consultation to discuss this, your investments, or anything else that's on your mind. It's what we do and we're good at it. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next video.